It's the magic hour. How you doing out there? Happy Monday. I hope you're having a great week so far. Well, here we are, back with Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations. Playing through the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney trilogy. Here we are on the third game in the series. Playing our way through. I forget which turnabout we're on. Let's name of it. Bring up our save file, huh? Go ahead and continue. Yes. Recipe for turnabout. And here we are with part 3, the investigation. That's right. As I recall, the last time we were together, we were in the tiger's lair. Oh my goodness, that's right. The guy that kind of looks like us but is not us. Our doppelganger. Hey, Virtue! Good to see you! Welcome! I hope you're having a great week so far. How's your Monday going? That's right, it's time for Phoenix! Now, as you recall, we were in the tiger's office. He had to go. But this creepy girl is around, right? And he seems to be somewhat differential to her. So I have the sense that she's a bit of a mob boss. She's somewhere in the hierarchy here. Hey, my day's going great. You know, anytime that I'm able to stream and play video games online, that's a great day as far as I'm concerned. Things must be going pretty well. If that's what I'm up to on any given day, right? So, alright, thanks for asking. Let's see here. What can we talk to this super creepy chick about? Ah yes, Tender Lender. Now, Tender Lender is significant because that is the name of the entity that loaned money to... Oh, what is that chef's name? Armstrong. Chef Armstrong. Alright, so what about Tender Lender? Just having a little drink of water. So, I'm kind of curious about your company. Oh, hold on, let me fix this real quick here so you don't have to look at my pointer the whole... Actually, with anything. Let's see here. There we go. How's that? All right. So I'm kind of curious about your company, Tender Lender. With the warm and friendly atmosphere you'd expect from a family-sized business. A conscientious rate of interest and an attractive repayment policy. Why do I get the feeling this sentence is not going to end well? We will tenderly lend you that little bit extra here at Tender Lender. Hey Nick, things are a bit tight for Wright & Company at the moment, aren't they? I mean, there's that $500 you owe me from our card game for starters. Why don't you take out a loan? Would I like to take out a loan from a place like this? Not so much. Tender Lender is on your side. So, let's say I'm late with my repayment. What happens then? We'd give you more coffee. Strong coffee. Right. I think I'd rather skip town. Hey! Just remember I can make strong coffee too, Nick. Strong tea as well. So, do you know about the incident we're investigating? What incident? Well, a man was poisoned in a restaurant just near here. That incident. Let me see. I was here that day with the manager. The manager being the tiger? Yurio Tigre. Yurio? Tigre? So that's where the tiger thing comes from. Cheneov's got a real name, Nick. Hurry up and find out more about him. So yeah, our evil twin. Alright, so I think to find out more, we might have to present his profile, right? Here he is. Look at this guy. Oh man. Can I ask you about the tiger? I mean, Mr. Tigre? Cookie? Sure. How do you like my cookies? I bake them myself. Go ahead, Nick. The honor is all yours. No, no. Ladies first, Maya. No matter how I look at this, I just don't get it. What are the tiger and this scary girl doing working together? We are lovers. That's not exactly coming across in your tone of voice. And I owe Don Tigre my life. He's the one who saved me. The tiger saved you? Please, address him properly as Don Tigre. Otherwise, I'll have to. Okay, okay. Don Tigre, of course, I'm sorry. He saved her life. I'd sure like to know how that happened. I'm very frail, you see. Just recently, I died once. You died? About 4 months ago. The doctors said to abandon all hope. I guess they were expecting her to take a boat ride across the River Styx. But Don Tigre, he saved me. He gave up everything. Everything? When I found out what he had done for me, I was happy. No offense, but I'm finding that a little hard to believe. I decided I'd pay him back with my life by serving him coffee and espresso. I still wonder about what's in her coffee. So, is that why you've got that bandage around your head? This? So what's the story with the bandage? They put it on after the operation. Operation? It's just a little injury. A little fatal injury. A fatal injury? Maya just suffered one herself by the sound of it. So, that's the injury you were talking about before when you said you had died once? Oh, she's hiding something. Oh my gosh! She's definitely hiding a big secret. A 4 Psyche Lock secret. Oh my gosh! What could it be? Ugh, she really creeps me out, Nick. Same here. But we've got to find out the truth. Alright, so we're gonna have to come back to this. So, where can we go next? Is the question. Well, we have to go to Vitamin Square. Okay. There he is! Old Sadie's back, feeding the pigeons again. Oh no! Not Victor... Cuno, right? Or something like that. Victor Kudo, there we go. There, take this, and get out of my park! Like I thought, he's really mad. Come on, Maya. Just keep your head down and let's sneak away while we still can. What? Why? Hello, old man. What are you doing, Maya? Huh? Ka! Hey, he just turned his back on us. It's because he doesn't recognize you. You're not wearing the waitress outfit. I'm not surprised. I bet I really hurt his pride in court this morning. Hey, Mr. Kudo. Pigeon. Look, we really need to talk to you, all right? Out with the demons. In with good fortune. Ow! 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 Seeds! Shell splinters! Painful! I always knew you were a demon, Maya. Alright, let's talk about today's trial. I'm sorry about what happened in court earlier today. Gah. Everyone will be talking about me behind my back now. Oh my gosh. A dirty old man who was so busy looking at the serving girl's backside that he can't remember her face. A filthy, depraved animal. Not at all. Are you listening to me, boy? I don't care what you say. I saw that waitress put it in. She put some white powder into the young lad's Javicino. We hear you. And another thing, the young layabout was wearing an earpiece on the same side as the lens of his broken spectacles. We're really sorry. So I made a little mistake about the vase. So what? I know what I saw. I tell ya, I tell ya, I tell ya. Okay, okay. Take it easy, please, Mr. Kudo. Don't tell me to take it easy, you spiky-haired brat. Take this. You said you were a craftsman, right? The modern world casts honest craftsmen like me aside in droves. Surely it's not that. I come from a long line of craftsmen, right back to the time of the shoguns. Do you hear me? I didn't become an embroiderer, I was born one. Actually, I'm kind of in the same situation myself. I wanted to stick my fingers up that dribbling old judge's nose and scream right down his ear hole, objection! Oh, so did you want to become a lawyer when you were young? I don't think that's quite it, Maya. I think he's just in a bad mood, that's all. I've got a tsunami of frustration inside and it's ready to burst out. If we let him start rambling now, we might never shut him up. What should I do? Well, you gotta give people enough rope to hang themselves with, right? So, just let this guy talk. Guess I better let him talk. So, there's not much call for craftsmen these days, then. Of course not, you idiot. All I'm good for nowadays is running errands. Errands? Everyone takes advantage of the elderly. Buy some bread, Gramps. Take the dog for a walk, Granddad. Feed the pigeons, old man. What am I? Some sort of 2-bit community handyman? Well... Buy some bread, now that I can understand. But what's the point of feeding some seedy pigeons? Why don't people say what they mean? Get lost. That's what they're trying to say. Oh yes, I'm just an inconvenience, you see. At home, at that restaurant, I just get in the way, don't I? I'm sure you don't. Wait a minute. What did he just say? At home and at that restaurant? Hold up. By restaurant, are you talking about Tribulations? Did you get asked to run an errand there too? Yes, I did. That very day, that young brat was poisoned. Oh, okay. What? Alright, this is some important stuff now. So on the day of the incident, what were you asked to do? Glad you asked, boy, because I'll tell you what I was asked to do. All of a sudden, that young lad slumped over the table. Serving girl collapsed. And I broke the vase. It all happened so fast, I was in a bit of a daze, you see. Then the owner shouted over to me. Excusez-moi, you, call la police. Call them yourself, I should have said back. But I didn't think of it at the time. So, did you end up calling the police? Like I said, I was in a bit of a daze. Did you call them on your cell phone? Do I look like I'd have one of those newfangled thingamajigs? I went out looking for a payphone, of course. You went looking for one? I couldn't find one right away, you know. Wandered around for 5 minutes or so. 5 minutes? So for 5 minutes after the incident happened... Yes, sirree. Yona was at Tribulations on his own. Why didn't you mention this in court this morning? Well, I would've if you'd given me the chance. But you all bullied me out of the courtroom. Thank you, Mr. Kudo. You certainly earned your kudos for today. Wait a minute. If that's the case, there's more. I got more to say. Oh yes, I remember something else. Bailiff, escort the witness out of the courtroom. It's not my fault. You're the ones to blame. Could have at least told us before we got to court. Is it really that important that Mr. Kudo was the one who called the police? What's important is the unaccounted time before the police arrived. The victim was dead, and Maggie was unconscious. Which leaves that that man alone in the restaurant. Mr. Kudo might have been chased out of the place on purpose. What do you mean? Maybe a certain someone didn't want him in the restaurant. Ah. Oh, sure. You go ahead and say I was in the way, as usual. I suppose... Oh, that must be Rizo knocking on the door. Hi, Rizo. Happy Monday. How are you? It's almost like I know to expect you when I hear knocking. Oh, how's your Monday? You been meh today? Aw, no worries. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Hey, it's all good in here, alright? You ain't gotta worry about a thing in here. And we're happy to see you. Oh my gosh. So I'm doing more investigation here. We gotta find more more info to clear our client. There was a spooky mobster chick that we ran into that has some kind of forelock secret. So we're on the prowl for more evidence, right? Yeah, we gotta get to the bottom of all of this. That's right. All right, I suppose I should have been getting myself covered in pigeon poop instead, huh? We need to get more details about what exactly happened. All right, so it turns out that after the murder, Armstrong, the chef guy, tells Kudo, this dude right here, he says, hey, why don't you go call the police? And by the way, he doesn't have a cell phone, so he's wandering around for 5 minutes looking for a payphone. And in those precious 5 minutes, right, maybe this is when some of these dirty deeds got done, right? All right. For Maggie and for Mr. Armstrong. Okay, so now we know from Victor's point of view what happened. We need to go back and talk to Maggie, who was supposedly passed out at the time, and Mr. Armstrong, who is more than a little sus. Okay, so let's get out of here. Let's move to... Well, this is... Tender Lender is the mob joint, so let's go back to Tribulations. Okay, anybody here? Doesn't look like anyone's here. That's alright. Let's move to... Oh wait, we do need to talk to Armstrong, so let's go to the kitchen. Looks like Mr. Armstrong's out again. But the place is open for business. You can't have an open restaurant without a chef. Water here. It's true, you can't have an open restaurant without a chef. Hey, it's not my fault, Nick. Don't take it out on me. Only a couple of minutes after the incident happened, Mr. Kudo left the scene, leaving Mr. Armstrong here alone. Ugh. Missing when we need to talk to him most. Maybe he's trying to avoid us on purpose? Could be. He might be trying to avoid us on purpose. Alright, so where else can we go? We've been to Vitamin Square. Oh, I guess we could go try to visit our client, Maggie, and get her perspective, right? Oh, Mr. Wright! Hello, Maggie. So they finished questioning you? Wasn't it just unbelievable in court today, sir? I'm gonna stay up all night and blog about everything that happened. Weren't you scared? It was pretty touch and go in there. Yeah, but you totally nailed that old man. Well, he was all over the place with his testimony. He's not the only one. Huh? What do you mean? Everyone else's testimonies didn't match up either. Not with what I remember of the incident, anyway. Is it possible she's the one misremembering things? Maggie, you know how you said that everyone else provided testimony that doesn't match up with what you remember? Yup. There's just so many things that don't seem to add up. The biggest contradiction is the other guy I saw at the victim's table. He was the one who slipped something into the victim's coffee. I'm sure it was him. But didn't Mr. Kudo testify earlier today? That it was the waitress who put some white powder into the coffee cup? Ooh, what if this was the creepy girl? Could this have been the creepy girl? Just from the back? Ooh. When I say creepy girl, I mean, this gal right here, Violetta. Maybe it was Violetta. So you really think it was this disappearing man that did it? Hey, it's level 394 on Dark Souls. How you doing? Happy Monday. How you doing so far today? Hey, the first to redeem first. Wow, I'm surprised that the other guys let that slip by. You're doing good? Good, good. Glad to see ya. So we're back on the investigatory trail, right? We have run into the creepy girl. We talked to her for a bit. Now we had a chance to try to follow up with Mr. Armstrong and Maggie. And Mr. Armstrong was MIA. Here, Maggie, of course, is in the detention center. Trying to follow up on the contradictions of the testimony, the discrepancies between Maggie's perspective and the testimony of the witnesses. What is going on here, right? Well, he's not the only thing that disappeared. The CD vanished as well. You know, the CD with the writing on it. Oh yeah, the MC Screwdriver album, right? It was MC Bomber, Maya. That name was scrawled on the sports paper as well. Right. They never did find that CD at the crime scene, sir. Or the victim's medication. That's gone missing too. Ouch! My head! This is getting way too complicated for me. You said that when you passed out... You said that you passed out when the victim, Glenn Elg, collapsed, right? Yes, it's so embarrassing. I mean, I used to be a cop. When I came to, the restaurant was buzzing with police. Before I knew what was going on, they arrested me, sir. So between the time the victim collapsed and the time the police arrived on the scene, you have no idea what went on at Tribulations. No, no idea at all. Why? Is it important, Mr. Wright? Yeah, everything is important in a murder trial, especially for you, babe. Why don't you know this? Don't you want to get out of the detention center? Or do you like it there too much? The other witness, the old man from the park, was pretty much chased out of the picture. Chased out of the picture? What do you mean? Old Seedy wasn't inside the restaurant because he was told to go call the police. Exactly. And you, Maggie, were unconscious. That means Mr. Armstrong was alone in the restaurant for a brief period of time. No. You don't think Mr. Armstrong set me up, do you? When you consider the facts, it's hard to imagine that Mr. Armstrong isn't involved in this at all. It's like the master biting the paw of the dog that it feeds. Are you sure about this, Mr. Wright? Well, the old man said as much when we spoke with him earlier. No, the things that man says don't add up for some reason, sir. Maggie looks like she's trying to figure out something. What is it? Figure something out. Maybe we should ask Maggie exactly what she knows about old Seedy. Alright. Roger that. Let's present his profile to her. I feel much better after the trial this morning. I've been a bit of a courtroom proceedings addict for years now. It feels like forever since I saw a witness as slippery as that old man. He's not really that bad of an old man, though. Still, I feel a bit uneasy. Huh? I thought you just said you felt much better. Maggie, if there's something on your mind, you've got to tell us. especially if it has anything to do with Mr. Kudo or his testimony. Roger, I'll spill it all and see what you make of it. Is there anything about Mr. Kudo's testimony that stood out as odd to you? Actually, yes. The fact that he was even testifying to begin with doesn't quite... Doesn't quite what? Well, when I took the coffee over to the victim's table... It's true there was another customer in the restaurant. Yeah, we knew that already. It was Victor Kudo. But I can't really say it was an old man. Okay, then how about calling him a really old middle-aged man? No, the age isn't the issue. The other customer was a woman. Oh yeah? Was she a creepy-looking woman? A woman? Are you sure, Maggie? Well, I'm not 100% sure, but I think so. So, what did this woman look like? She was sort of creepy. And she had kind of a cackling laugh. Creepy. Cackling. Why do I get the feeling I've come across a woman like that recently? Because you have, my dude. Because you have. Alright. I'm just wondering, is she gonna say anything if we present this? I know I used to be on the police force, sir. But I'm incarcerated now, so I can't use my connections to help you. All I can tell you about now is info about ex-cons or the clientele of Tribulations, sir. Aw, don't let it get you down, Maggie. Not great, Maggie. You don't recognize her? Okay, fair enough. Now, didn't we have a homemade lunch from Gumshoe? Where is this thing? Gosh, we got so much stuff. Here we go, Gumshoe's lunchbox. Present this to her. Oh yeah, I've got something you're gonna love. Really? What is it? A lunchbox, just for you. Here. Wow, a lunchbox. Weenies too. I can't believe it. Thank you, sir. Did you make this just for me, Mr. Wright? Nah, it was Detective Gumshoe. Who else would make such a nice lunchbox for you? Detective Gumshoe. He's really worried about you. Looks like he put a lot of effort into making this too. Aww. I can't accept it. Detention center rules. No gifts allowed, sir. Hey, come on, Maggie. Don't be like that. The rules are the rules. They'll lock you up if you break them. Somehow, when an ex-cop turned waitress says that, it seems a whole lot scarier. And anyway, I hate weenies. Oh, really? It's all yours, Maya. You can enjoy it with Mr. Wright. But... she's right. It's better than letting it go to waste. But... I guess so. Aww. Well, how was it? That hit the spot. I love weenies. Oh, good. I'm glad I gave it to you then, sir. He didn't accept his gift. That's not cool. Must be complicated. Alright, so... where can we go next? I guess we could go see Gumshoe? See what's going on here. The main server just went up in smoke. Why the heck isn't the press conference set up yet? The superintendent's here already. Yeah, and there's a problem with the internet too. I already told you to stop using your computer, Chief. but I'm watching videos online. I'm catching up on my Asian soap operas. Gonna have to wait, Chief. I'm throwing the switch. No! Just was some young guy was about to confess to his son's hot-to-trot girlfriend. Wow, this place is really buzzing. Something must be going down. Something really big. Huh? What are you doing here, pal? Detective Gumshoe. You can't be here right now. You'll be roped into the briefing if you stay. Huh? We got big problems here today. Why? What's going on? It's a virus. A virus. A virus? There's a virus ripping through the precinct's computer system. But I really need to ask you some questions. Alright, let's talk about Tender Lender for one. Okay, I'm only gonna say this once, so listen up. Okay, I'm listening really closely. I got my good ears on. Yes. No matter how poor you get, never borrow money from a place like this, you hear? Okay. You got money trouble? Just go on a diet of instant noodles and hang in there. We're not thinking about borrowing money, Detective. We want information. Oh, is that all? Well, let's see. Tender Lender is considered to be even fishier than the average illegal loan shark. And it seems it ran into trouble just recently. Those guys have been pretty heavy-handed, calling in all their debts. Really? Don't go poking your nose around in their business, pal. You'll really regret it if you upset that lady. Alright, I get the picture. Hey, wait a minute. What did he just say? That lady. Who's this lady he's talking about, Nick? You'd better find out what the story is with this lady. So what exactly is a computer virus, Detective Gumshoe? I don't know. What? Look, I just go with the flow, alright, pal? And here I thought detectives were supposed to be somewhat knowledgeable. What's with that face, pal? You think you know what a virus is? Well, Nick, do you? A computer virus? Sure. I mean, only in simple terms, of course. Really? Wow, you know everything, Professor Nick. Yeah, I'm gonna call you Dr. Wright from now on. Hey, that sounds pretty cool. Don't you agree, Dr. Wright? Why do I get the feeling they're making fun of me? Okay, fine. I'm no expert, but I can at least explain the basics to the two of you. A virus is a program that gets inside a computer and causes damage. Damage? You mean it makes the machine go boom and explode? No. The damage is, well, it's all internal. So the inside goes boom, right? Imagine all the case data you've got stored on your PCs here in the station. A virus could wipe out all of that. That's the kind of damage I'm talking about. Whoa, that's scary. Yeah, and what's even more scary is that viruses are infectious. Infectious? Most computers are connected together on a network, right? A virus can move from one machine to another over the network. So the virus just keeps spreading faster and faster. Huh. Just like a real virus, huh? But Nick, why would anyone want to make a program like that? Yeah, it takes ages to type in all that data. Why would you want to destroy it, pal? No, People don't infect their own machines. They send the virus to someone else's. What? That's horrible.
Oh, I get it. It's like you're sneezing on Mr. Godot so he catches a cold.
Right. Then he wouldn't be able to turn up in court because he's too sick. You really shouldn't do stuff like that, Nick. It's wrong. And that's some germ warfare. Who? What? Where? When? And why did the conversation jump to talking about me? Anyway, that's what a computer virus is. A bad program that causes damage.
And all the different viruses have names, right? I kind of feel like I've heard the name of the virus we caught somewhere before.
The name of the virus, huh? Feel like I've heard of it before, too. Gee, is it MC Bomber? Let's see here. Was it... Oh, here we go. Gotta be this one right here. Let's present this, because I think that MC Bomber is the name, right? You don't have the actual disc anywhere, do you? Ooh, we do have the disc. Well, I guess let's present the disc. Detective Gumshoe, about this.
What? I'm trying to concentrate on Maggie and this virus. Ah! This is it? This stupid name? I remember now.
I thought so. Here it comes. Don't just nod to yourself and keep me in the dark, Nick. What's going on? It's okay, Maya. You don't have to cry about it.
The name scribbled on that sports paper and written on that CD. That's the name of the virus. MC Bomber.
What?
Yeah, the virus that's just infected every computer in the station, pal. It's MC Bomber.
Can you give us any more details? Please?
We already knew about the MC Bomber virus from a while back. A group of criminals issued a series of demands to the head honchos of law enforcement. They threatened to release the virus if the demands weren't met.
Who are they?
I don't know. Some hotshots from the criminal underworld would be my guess.
And now the virus has been released, huh?
Yeah, it's in every computer and every public office in the city. Everyone's going nuts. They're hopping around like they're dancing at a carnival.
All this stuff with criminals and viruses, it almost feels like we're in a sci-fi movie.
Apparently the programmer who made the virus was a real genius or something. Focus right now is on tracing the root of this virus on the black market.
You mean someone put this virus up for sale?
Yeah, and because this one's so powerful, they're estimating its price tag was in the millions of dollars, pal.
In the millions? A virus can be worth that much? Okay. What else were we gonna talk about? We already talked about MC Bomber. Oh, we need to present him with Violetta's picture. Who or what is going on here?
That's the girl who works over at Tender Linda. You want to stay away from her, okay? I mean it.
She does look kind of unforgiving, doesn't she?
That should be the least of your worries, pal.
What's that supposed to mean? What could be worse?
Her name's Viola Cadaverini. She's the only granddaughter of Bruto Cadaverini.
Oh man, look at this dude. He is scary looking. Bruto Cadaverini? Do you know who that is, Nick? Never heard of him.
Bruto Cadaverini's the boss of the Cadaverini family.
The Cadaverinis? That's one scary sounding name.
Can't touch them. They're way too powerful for the police. But you're thinking of taking them on, aren't you?
No, I don't remember ever saying I was going to. Better get some more info out of Gumshoe about this family. Alright. You know anything? I'm not sure if I really want to get involved in this, but who are the Cadaverinis?
Who are they? A scary bunch of people, that's who.
You're a cop and you're scared? What's that about?
Trust me, it doesn't matter if you're a kid or a cop, these guys are scary. They've got some sort of serious clout in the criminal underworld. We can't touch them. They've got way too much moolah.
Moolah? As in?
They pretty much control all cash on the city's black market.
The black market, huh? And that includes tender lender, I take it.
Sure. No one stands up to Bruto Cadaverini, and I mean no one.
Interesting. So Violetta's the granddaughter of some mafia boss, then?
Yeah, and everyone knows how much Bruto loves this little girl. She means everything to him.
So, how did she end up a tender lender?
I don't know, pal. But I heard she and the boss at Tender Lender are pretty tight.
Tight?
That's what it said in a file I read related to Maggie's case.
Sounds like a pretty important clue.
Ah, I can't believe it. I almost forgot the most important thing.
And that is?
You know, the lunchbox. How did everything go?
Lunchbox? You remember? The weenies?
I hate weenies.
Oh yeah. Those weenies.
So? How did my weenies taste when they went down the hatch?
Huh? Well, it was delicious.
Yeah? That's what she said? Really?
Well, not exactly.
Don't worry about it, pal. I figured something would happen, so I came prepared.
Prepared? What do you mean?
I made a jumbo lunchbox.
Oh.
Do me a favor again, huh, pal, and deliver this.
This sure is a heavy burden, in more ways than one.
I can just imagine Maggie's little eyes sparkling with joy when you bring her that.
Weenies again, Nick. Tell me we don't have to eat all of these, too. My goodness. Okay, again. Into the inventory. I really can't eat anymore. Okay. Well, I think we've gotten everything we can get out of this place. Where else can we go? Go back to our office. Back to the detention center. Nothing's going on there. Back to Tribune. Here. The kitchen. No one's there. Boy, this is like a ghost town. We haven't been to blue screens. Let's go back to blue screens. Well, this is just the same lady as before. Okay, well, something that we know about now that we didn't know the last time that we were here is that Glenn most likely created or provided this MC Bomber virus on the disk to Don Tigra, right? In exchange for money. And this gal had, didn't she have a secret? tell us more about the trouble that Mr. Elg was in. I'm sorry. I don't know anything about that. Oh, that's right. Okay. So this dude, he was hard up for money. I do not pry into other people's affairs.
You just gave us the dreaded professional, businesslike cold shoulder, huh?
Need to find out exactly what the victim was involved in. It's like I've got to break her in a professional, businesslike manner. Alright, well let me give this a save real quick. Because at this point we've got a lot more on that front, right? We've got... Gosh, we have a lot more evidence than we had the last time we saw her. Okay, so we have this computer virus program found at Tender Lender. What else? Hey, Raizo! Oh, did you check out my throne? That's so funny! Yeah, you know, I haven't really spent much time on that site, but I went back today and I was like, you know what, let me add some stuff on here. Alright, so we have Glenn's calendar, meet with the tiger, so we know he was meeting with Latigra of the Tender Lender organization. Okay, so we've got some evidence to connect them there. We also have all these losing horse racing tickets. My goodness, over 500 bets that he placed and lost. We know that he would be getting a call, or he would find out whether he won or lost the lottery at 1:30 p.m. Oh. Okay. We might be at the point. Oh gosh. Alright, no guts, no glory, right? Let's go and present the Magatama. Tell me your secrets, lady. I got my eye on you, lady. I got it. I got my eye on you. Alright. It's only a 3-lot secret, so I think we have the upper hand here. So, how about you tell me what kind of trouble Mr. Elg was in? I'm sorry, sir, but we don't deal with troubleshooting here. Perhaps you'd like to speak with someone in customer service.
Yeah, buddy! Ooh. Yeah, buddy! Yeah, buddy! Yeah, 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 buddy, yeah, buddy! Yeah, buddy! Yeah, buddy! Yeah, buddy! Yeah, buddy! Yeah, buddy! Yeah, 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 yeah,
Oh man, I always love a good yeah buddy. Yeah buddy. Oh my god. What's she talking about? I guess I'd better just get a... No Twitch notifications? Oh, for the yeah buddy? You think I need to add something? Am I missing something? Are you kidding me? You didn't buy something on Throne, did you? Oh, you were so sweet, Raizo. You didn't have to do that. I was just messing around with that site. Oh, you're so kind. Oh my god. Well, I thought I had set it up to do all of that stuff, but maybe I did it wrong. So I'll just make a big deal manually, okay? Here we go. Here we go. let's get a notification. Here we go. Rizo best viewer Gigi, thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, you're so kind. Oh my gosh. You were just so amazing. Oh, so let's take a look. Let's take a look. Oh my goodness. Thank fans. Aww. Hey! I love it! I love it! You got my favorite. You know what? I love Mike and Ike so much. Let me bring up a picture. How do I do this? Let's insert. Stop everything! Stop everything! Here we go, here we go. Oh my gosh. Okay, where do we at? Window. And where is here we go. Alright. You see this little Mike and Ike's figure? I am obsessed with Mike and Ike's. I am not joking. We just got done buying one of those giant, like, dozen box sets that you'd see at, like, a movie theater concession stand. Just so I have a steady supply of Mike and Ike's. I'm always... But never during stream, of course. It's a little too much, of a sound effect situation. Well, thank you so much. You spoil me. Oh, golly. Well, you know what? I really appreciate you, Rizo. You are so kind to me. And I will think of you every time I see this happy little fellow sitting on my desk. Can't wait to see it get here. $12 for a box of candy. Well, he is sentient, Whack Frost. You can tell by the way he has a face and hands and feet, and he's also offering you of his own body. It's a little creepy, that aspect, that he's offering you a few Mike and Ikes, and he is Mike and Ikes. It's sort of like, you know, the peanut M&M and the, you know, the red and yellow M&Ms? You know, they're always talking about eating M&Ms and all this. Like, wow, this is just cannibalism from the candy's perspective. The price is normal at any movie theater. There you go. That's why you gotta sneak the snacks in. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Oh my gosh. I haven't been to a movie theater in quite a while, but it's on my to-do list, I gotta tell you. I love going to the movies. I actually collect movies, so I love going to the theater and seeing new stuff, staying on top of what's out there. If you get caught sneaking your snacks in, it's capital punishment. Oh my goodness, that's right. Oh, speaking of which, you want to hear something crazy? Okay, so you know these food ordering apps like Uber Eats and DoorDash and all of this? You can actually order from the theater, from the movie theater's concession stand on Uber Eats at my old place that I used to rent. What kind of absolute maniac is ordering Uber Eats delivery from the movie theater concession stand? What kind of absolute lunatic is sitting on their couch going, God, I wish I could pay $35 for a bucket of popcorn? But it's got to be on there because someone wants it, right? Someone wants to pay $8 for a bucket of Coca-Cola. And then, can you imagine paying somebody like, and then you gotta tip the delivery driver and everything. So extra. Oh my god. I just thought that was so funny. Like, why even bother putting it on there? Okay. So, I guess I'd better just take a shot and see where it gets me. Miss Basil, let me ask you something. Rich people, yeah, right? Well, that's the thing is, like, why wouldn't you order? Because I can understand wanting, like, fancy popcorn, okay? But there are popcorn-centric places, right? There are places that, like, they specialize in popcorn and they have, like, little different drizzles and flavors and things like that. Like, that's what I would be buying if it was, like, just I'm a rich person and I'm eccentric and I just don't want to make my own popcorn for some reason. I need to get a little water. I'll be right back. A money flex, indeed. Nothing like a glass of ice-cold water. I love it. Okay, so let's take a look here. Did Mr. Elg's troubles have something to do with this? Okay, so I'm gonna assume by the way he keeps compulsively gambling that maybe he has a gambling problem. Eh? What is that? Exactly, Whackfrost. They would definitely charge me, right? One of the most plentiful substances on Earth. Let's charge her about, let's say $6 for a bottle of water, right? And even then, it's not even like a fancy bottle. It's something, mundane. A bunch of horse racing tickets, all losing ones. With that many tickets, you could get $1 at the recycling center. You good people are very, very bad. Cashing in on others' misfortunes is immoral. Is that a whiff of hypocrisy I smell? But what is the relevance of these tickets? The victim, Mr. Glenelg, he had a gambling habit, didn't he? I don't think that's a logical conclusion based on the facts. Everyone likes to go to the races from time to time. Yeah, but not everyone buys this many tickets. Anyway, I don't believe that proves anything on its own. Hey, it's Viper! How you doing, dude? Happy Monday! And I don't remember if I specifically welcomed you, Whackfrost, but of course I'm happy to see you as well. Hi. How's your Monday going? Yeah, they'd rather use COVID and streaming services as a scapegoat on why movie theaters are dying. And I love going to the theater, but I haven't been to a theater now in years. But I used to go, well, this was a while ago, but I used to go like literally every week. I had Tuesday and Wednesday as my days off, and So that's when I would go to the theater at like 11 a.m. and no one would be there. It was like I had my very own movie theater. It was the best thing. Hi. You're supposed to be editing Rizo's video, but instead you're here?
Don't worry, I won't say a thing. Just between you and me, dude.
Aw, shucks. Oh my goodness. Why you prefer to smuggle snacks into theaters during winter? Fluffy coats hide snacks well. Yeah, it depends on what you're trying to sneak in. You know? Something I'd like to see somebody try to sneak in is, you know at Disneyland how they have like an entire turkey leg? Like this giant ass turkey leg. I would love to see somebody try to sneak one of those into a movie theater. Just whip that bad boy out during the film, have yourself a nosh. It would kill me. Oh man. Anyway, I don't believe that proves anything on its own. You're right, but I'm not through yet. Mr. Elk's gambling wasn't restricted to horse races, was it? Oh, okay. Because he also gambled on the lottery, right? Ah, the victim's lottery ticket also. Okay, this one. Alright. It's surprisingly very easy to do, huh? Interesting. Maybe we need to do an audit, like a TSA audit. Have you ever seen those types of audits where they try to like sneak something into an airport that you're not supposed to have in your luggage? You know, like 4 ounces of shampoo or something, you know, something extremely dangerous. But just kidding. When they do these audits, they put like knives and guns and stuff like this that people should not have going through the airport, right? And the point is, you want to see if the guards catch it. It's like a drill, right? Of course, the TSA fails at this, but that's right. Whack Frost, they're going to install one of those machines where you got to put your hands up like this, and it goes around you. You're already a disadvantage when you see them? Why is that? I think we're all at a disadvantage. I mean, they know what we all look like naked using those scanners. Yet those uniforms, they leave much to the imagination. It's not fair. Okay. The lottery, horse racing, he bought a lot of tickets and lost a lot of times. That's gotta have hurt his wallet pretty bad, don't you think? Ooh, she's sweating. Was she nervous? Maybe bad enough to be the cause of some pretty serious trouble, perhaps. No! You are right. Glenn did have a gambling habit. You good people must not follow his example, do you understand? Trust me, even if I wanted to, I don't exactly have the money to buy any. But if you win, there's no problem, is there? And Glenn had a winning ticket, didn't he? For $500,000? Yeah, but it's hard to imagine how he could have been in trouble then, isn't it? It's true that Mr. Elg won $500,000 in the end. But that was his first stroke of good luck. He was in deep trouble before that. Deep trouble? What do you mean? Mr. Elg's real problem was with someone or something more terrifying and ferocious. Alright, terrifying and ferocious. You mean like the tiger? This guy's kind of terrifying and ferocious. Should we present... Oh wait, this is a little indirect, right? Maybe we should literally present the tiger. This dude. Tigre, the boss of a loan office called Tender Lender. You know what? I feel like they missed an opportunity here. Furio Tigre is pretty good. Like a furious tiger, right? I feel like they should have named him Antonio. Antonio Tigre? Like Tony the Tiger? Maybe this is just my opinion. Okay. Tender Lender. People with businesses should think harder before naming their offices. Like you're one to talk. Well, what do you think? That's right, her company's called Blue Screen. Not great for a software company. Our firm is doing very well at the moment. I don't think we need to borrow money. No. I mean about Mr. Elg. You think Glenn had something to do with this Furio Tigre? Yes. I'm sorry. I don't know of any connection between the two of them. Really? Because I've got the proof that Mr. Elg and the tiger knew each other. I do have the proof. Oh, that's not it though. Yikes. Hey, it's the eagle. Hi. Happy Monday, dude. How you doing? It's good to see ya. I'm doing real well. Thank you so much. Oh, I really appreciate you stopping by. It's so kind of you. I'm not sure. Let's ask one of the programmers. I just presented the wrong thing. Excuse me. Can you answer this man's query, please? The data queue that manages the multi-system simulation local variables we put in the transmission active nodes and bundle correctly according to the source code. Obviously. So I'm afraid that is the situation, you see. Did you good people follow all of that? Not even slightly. What was all that mumbo-jumbo? It is exactly as my programmer explained. I'm guessing I picked the wrong piece of evidence there. Glenn had a lot of friends, Mr. Wright. You think Glenn had something to do with this Furio Tigre? Yes. I'm sorry, I don't know of any connection between the two of them. Really? Because I've got proof that Mr. Elg and the tiger knew each other. Be funny if I presented the tiger again, right? Okay, let's go to the evidence. And here on his calendar, there is a note saying, meet with the tiger, right? So this is our proof that they knew one another. Furio Tigre, aka the Tiger, is the boss of a loan office called Tender Lender. This is who Mr. Elg met with on the day of his murder. And the only thing a loan shark would talk with him about would be his debt. No! It's true that Glenn had racked up quite a bit of debt from his gambling habit. About $100,000, I think. $100,000? Ouch! But I heard he won the lottery, so he should have been in the clear. Shame Maggie couldn't get a bit of that good luck. Okay, so the guy got lucky and won the lottery. But what if he hadn't won? What was his plan then? Well, this isn't easy to say, but he said he would use his talents to repay the money. His talents? I suspect he was talking about his programming. But what computer program's worth $100,000? Perhaps you good people should leave so I can get back to my work. I'm so close to cracking her. The program in question, was it by any chance? This one? Was it the virus? Was it the bad boy program? Okay, well, this is it, isn't it? This is the virus that's infecting computers worldwide as we speak. MC Bomber. Yeah. You can't hide it from me. I see. I always see through the lies. Professional. This is what a professional looks like. Lady's an amateur. But you know what? You tried. You tried, and I appreciate your effort. Alright. Enough gloating. Okay. Glenn's head had more processing power than any computer. But it had been infected with a gambling virus. Glenn was in too deep. You mean he was in debt? Yes, $100,000 in debt. Not an easy amount to repay. So, he said he was taking on some extra work. Something a bit risky. Risky? How? Maybe he was going to become a waitress at Tribulations? Where do you come up with these ideas? So, it's safe to say Mr. Elg was the creator of this virus, huh? The MC Bomber virus, yes. It was a work of genius. In a bad sort of way, of course, but still genius. Something like that would probably fetch several $1 million on the black market. Inconceivable! Gumshoe was right for a change. This date, December 3rd, that is marked on his calendar. That was his deadline for repaying his debts. Alright. I guess we won't be needing these horse racing tickets anymore. Alright, cool. Yeah, don't just throw them on the ground, Nick. Use the trash can, Nick. Alright, lady, well, you've told us all the tea. I think now is the time to get back to Tender Lender, right? Alright, lady. So I think now we might have enough. Do we? Let's re-examine our evidence that we... Okay. We have the sports paper. This also includes the amounts that are in question. MC Bomber. We have mask-to-mask drawing. Magazine clipping. So here we have La Tigra imitating us in court. Job listings. So the old man is also in financial straits. The terrible food at Tribulations. We also know that the owner of Tribulations is $500,000 in debt to the owner of Tender Lender. Anything else? The floor plans of Tribulations. We haven't looked at this in a little while. Of the kitchen. Have to walk by some tables to get to. East was sitting in this seat to the right of the X. Twin tea set in case you want to just poison yourself and give yourself the game over. It's like a cyanide pill in our inventory. Oh man. What else do we have? Crime photo. A shot. Now, we had used this previously to establish that the victim did not knock over this vase that was on his table. You know, it's a little strange that there's a bunch of paper and liquid together here, but the paper didn't absorb the liquid. Wonder if that's significant. That's just incidental. Alright, so we've got the coffee cup. Victim's lottery ticket. Apron worn by Maggie. has a small pocket but big stains. A deadly powdery poison bears Maggie's fingerprints found in her apron pocket. So this may have been planted on her, right? This might have been planted on Maggie while she was unconscious. Armstrong was alone with the unconscious Maggie for 5 minutes, right? At least 5 minutes. Prescription bag, which is empty. That's right. Just gotta say about his power level. Millionaire radio floor. Calendar. Now this is interesting. Car repair bill for $15,000 paid by Tigra to the Cadaverini family. I'm wondering, did he get into an accident in his scooter where he had harmed Violetta? Oh. That's how she got her injury, perhaps? Maybe that's why he was calling in his debt, so he needed that 15 grand. Ooh, I'm kind of liking that. Okay. Let's talk. And to talk, we gotta get tough. Alright, lady. Spill the tea, girl. You said that bandage around your head was from an operation? You also said you suffered a fatal injury to the head, correct? Yes, the operation was very difficult, apparently. Now, by fatal injury, you mean you were hurt very badly somehow, right? Did the injury in question have something to do with this? I'm gonna say the repair bill, right? Because it has to do with the Cadaverini family, car repair. So I think this has to do with an accident, right? Take that! I have here a car repair bill. From this, it seems pretty obvious that this car was involved in an accident. Let me see that. This bill is made out to the Cadaverinis. Yes, it is. I don't think I ever introduced myself. Tell me, what do the Cadaverinis have to do with me? Something tells me she's not about to say hi and introduce herself. All right, then. Your relationship with the Cadaverinis is very strong, and this is why. Well, it's gotta be, her grandfather, right? Here we go. Take that! I know exactly who you are, Viola Cadaverini. You sustained that injury in a traffic accident, didn't you? Yeah. It happened about 4 months ago. I was driving in one of our family's cars when someone pulled out in front of me. It was a motorbike or something like that. I don't remember it much. Anyway, I swerved to try to avoid it, but I took a blow to the head, a bad one. Yeah, I can imagine. So what happened to the person on the bike? I'm guessing they didn't get away with injuring the Viola Cadaverini, right? I don't know what happened to them. They ran away, or so I heard. Ran away? If they'd stayed, I'd have... Huh. Is it possible? Could the person who committed the hit and run have been... It was this dude, right?
It was this man, wasn't it? He was the cause of your accident.
It wasn't Don Tigre. I refuse to believe it. We collided, the motorbike and my car. But Don Tigre isn't injured at all, is he?
It was the tiger who caused Viola to crash. I can feel it. Plus, one of her locks just broke, so she must suspect it was him too.
I'm sorry, Miss Cadaverini, but I have proof that the tiger was involved in a traffic accident on his bike. Okay, I have proof, and that proof is this busted scooter, right? What about this? It's all busted up. It's not exactly a motorbike, but Mr. Tigre rides around on a scooter, doesn't he? And you'll notice that the front wheel guard is badly damaged. Miss Cadaverini? You know the truth, don't you? This repair bill was paid by Furio Tigre. The Cadaverinis have known for ages who caused the accident, haven't they? It's possible, perhaps. Somewhere inside me, I know that may be true.
I knew it.
But Don Tigre still saved my life. The operation was very complicated. It was very, very expensive.
How much are we talking?
Very, very, very expensive.
She seems kind of hesitant about giving me an actual figure. I should back off. Well, anyway, it was the tiger who paid for it, right?
After I recovered, Don Tigre told me. He said he paid for the operation because he cared about me. I believe him.
Really? But do you honestly believe that to be true?
Do you want to know what I think? I think the reason he paid for the operation wasn't because of you, but someone else. Maybe your grandfather, the mob boss? This dude seems to live for his granddaughter, that guy. This guy definitely is not someone you want to mess with.
Take that!
Perhaps I shouldn't be saying this, but your grandfather, Bruto Cadaverini, controls a lot of dubious cash, right? And you are his beloved pride and joy. Sure, I don't know exactly how much the operation cost, but if you weren't the granddaughter of Mr. Cadaverini, do you think Mr. Tigre would have paid the money? $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
Another victory. You really tried it, sis. You tried it. But to no avail. Oop. GG. GG, lady. 4 months ago, I was in a traffic accident. That's why I needed the operation. When I woke up, they told me it was nothing serious. A simple procedure.
Oh, really? Well, I guess if she recovered in 4 months, it couldn't have been too big.
They said the operation cost $1 million.
$1 million?
My grandfather ordered Don Tigre to pay $1 million in compensation.
Compensation, huh? It's underworld lingo for paying money to settle a score.
Basically, pay or get into some serious trouble.
I don't know, it's more like pay or get into a pine box.
But $1 million?
This has to be related to our poisoning case somehow.
I wanted to believe him. I wanted to trust what Don Tigre said. He said it had nothing to do with my grandfather being Bruto Cadaverini. I wanted to believe he helped me because he cared about me, not about my grandfather. Oh, she's sad now. But I knew that wasn't really true. Wow, I'm so sorry. What he did to get the money was... it was evil. He said it was all for me, so I helped him. You helped him? In what way? Ooh, that sounds a little ominous. She helped him. Here, take these. What are these? Medical papers? I'm Bruto Cadaverini's granddaughter. He had to pay compensation. He was made an offer. He simply couldn't refuse. Alright, payment was due last year for her cranial surgery. Wow, okay. Wow, I feel so bad for Viola. It's inexcusable. Huh? There are two things that I consider inexcusable. Poisoning and betrayal. That's it? Poisoning and betrayal. Everything else is excusable. Only a coward would hurt people by using either of these tactics. Alright, we can agree on that. Is everything alright, Nick? We should get going. Right after we finish our espresso. Yeah! I won't need to convince Viola of anything else, so I guess I can get rid of this. Okay, alright, getting rid of the repair bill. So, what do we do next? Anything new? Ooh, something new here.
Bonjour, I have been waiting for you to return.
Mr. Armstrong.
Ah, good timing. I was hoping to find you here.
Wait, this is Phoenix. Ah, good timing. I was hoping to find you here. We'd like to ask you a few questions.
Well, he hasn't got anything to say to yous fellas.
Ooh. Ah, it's Shineop.
Who you calling Zinny Oopie?
Ah! Come out from under the table already, Maya.
Okay, hand it over.
What?
Yous wanna play games with me? I don't recommend that. The medical papers, now.
All right. Uh-oh. I think he wants Viola Cadaverini's papers back. You mean this? The $1 million medical papers? Miss Cadaverini trusted you. That's why she said that she helped you. Forget about it. That girl's dumber than an eggplant. Yous wanna know what's sad? I'll tell yous what's sad. And it ain't only her face. She thinks she's got power 'cause she's Bruto's little girl. Now that's sad. Man, often a little bit. I need to Okay, let's get back into this. Okay. I can't let you have these papers. Tomorrow in court. I'm gonna expose what you did to get the $1 million you used to pay this off.
Are you crazy or something? I don't care if you want to give it to me or not. There's 2 of us here. You got that? 2.
Oui. Oui. Mr. Armstrong?
Forgive me. Désolé, I cannot argue with him.
Are we getting smacked around? Oh, that really hurt.
Is that all you've got? I'll be taking those papers now. Armstrong, get that lighter.
Wait! Don't take it too hard, Phoenix, Wright? That was so stupid. I shouldn't have let my guard down. Those medical papers were vital evidence. Hold it, pal. Detective Gumshoe? It's our boy, Detective Gumshoe. Talk about timing. Good to see you, dude.
Detective? You think you're gonna stop me, copper? Wait it. Ah!
Whoa! Come on, Gumshoe. Keep it together.
You guys, get out of here.
Leave this guy to me. But...
Go, pal, and take this. You get hurt? Who's gonna look after Maggie, huh?
All right. Thanks, Gumshoe. Wait, Nick, don't leave me behind. Out of here. I'll get even with that guy tomorrow in court. Tender lender is going down. This guy was impersonating. To be continued. Oh, we gotta save our game. All right. Another day in trial. Good morning, Mr. Wright.
Good morning, Maggie.
So, what do you think's gonna happen today, sir? Yesterday's session didn't go so well, and we ended on a giant mystery. That's true. And we still haven't solved a single part of it yet. Are you okay, Nick? Huh? Oh, yeah, of course. I saw that little flash of doubt in your eyes. No, that wasn't doubt. That was, determination. Why don't I believe you? It's nearly time, Maggie. You better get going to the defendant's seat. Roger. Don't let me down, Mr. Wright. I'm counting on you.
Hey, pal.
Hey, Detective Gumshoe.
Quit stressing Maggie out. She doesn't need that.
How did you know she was stressed?
I was watching through the doorway.
Oh.
You look like you lost the case already. Show a bit of confidence, will you, pal? Yeah, maybe this'll help.
Huh? Have you taken up aromatherapy too?
Not in a million years, pal. Don't tell me that you don't remember this thing.
Huh. Come to think of it, that doesn't look like one of those aromatherapy bottles. Well, this was in his collection, though. This is one bottle that looked different from all the others. And I suspect this has traces of poison in it. This is the small bottle that turned up in Trey Bien's kitchen a couple of days ago. Wow, look at all these little bottles. Oh, they're aromatherapy oils. He's got so many they're overflowing onto the floor. Hey, wait a minute. There's one bottle that's different from all the others. Well, what do you know? And it doesn't have a label either. And it doesn't smell. We finally got the analysis results back from the lab. So, what is it? Is it the poison? I'm afraid not, pal. It's medication. Medication? Yeah, the ears. Topical use only, apparently. Okay, so we know that Armstrong is a bit of a klepto. He has a tendency to steal from his customers. And we know that one of his customers had a ruptured eardrum and was taking medication for that ruptured eardrum. So obviously he stole this from that customer who happens to be the murder victim. For ears? You mean... Hey, it's the medication Glenn Elg was using for his ruptured eardrum. What was Glenn Elg's ear medicine doing in the kitchen? Found covered in unidentified fingerprints in the kitchen. What about the unidentified fingerprints? Anything on that? Someone screwed up, so they only had time to analyze the contents of the bottle. Another hour, and they might have got something on the prints, but... Huh. Well, that's gonna weaken its impact as a piece of evidence. Okay, pal, this is it. Make sure your defense is impregnable today, got it? Today is trial. I'm gonna expose that guy for what he's done. Or my name is in Phoenix Wright. That's the spirit, my dude. Court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Bird. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Let's go ahead and save. Alright, we save the game. Now we really are ready. Ready and waiting as always, Your Honor. Very good. Then we'll get underway at once. Yesterday we heard the testimony of Mr. Victor Kudo. He claims to have witnessed the defendant putting a powder into the victim's coffee. However, the witness's testimony was plagued with a number of problems. The mark on the rim of the cup shows that the victim drank from it with his right hand. That's true. Just want to check one more thing here. Okay. But according to the old man's testimony, he picked it up with his left hand. Thank you, Mr. Godot. Furthermore, according to the witness's account, the victim was listening to the radio with an earpiece in his left ear. Yet, the victim's left eardrum was ruptured, which made him effectively deaf in that ear. It's amazing how many contradictions a single case can have, huh, Nick? Ha! Allow me to enlighten you, Your Honor. The world, you see, keeps turning, and we must turn with it. You've lost me already, Mr. Godot. Don't let the mysteries of yesterday mystify you today. Only losers think like that. You've got to change with the times. That's one of my rules. Are you implying that you've resolved these contradictions? You know the answers to these riddles? The old guy wasn't just throwing seed in here. He was throwing us off the scent. And today I'll prove it. Very well. Let the first witness take the stand. And you are? Bonjour everyone. I am Jean Armstrong, the owner and head chef of La Très Bien Restaurant. Enchanté. Forgive me for asking, witness, but are you a woman?
Oh la la, monsieur. As you can see, I am la pert and perky gentleman, no?
On the day of the incident, you were in Trebian's kitchen. Isn't that right?
With you, monsieur.
Huh?
Everything feels right.
Wow, he's totally unfazed. Doesn't anything intimidate this guy? Very well, your testimony, please, witness. Please tell the court what happened that day at Tribien.
Oui, volontiers.
Oh my goodness. Okay, here we go.
When it all happened, there were just 2 customers in my restaurant. I remember I was experimenting with some new art deco that day. Like having a large mirror between la tables, for example.
Wait a minute, a mirror? Gee, maybe this has something to do with why he thought he saw the witness thought he saw something in one ear, but it really was the other?
Oui, perhaps that is what the old man was looking at. La cup, la earpiece, and la glasses. He would have seen everything in reverse, no?
Mirror?
Oui, un grand mirror. La most enormous mirror.
And suddenly the mystery disappears. Like I said, the world keeps turning, so roll with it. That would explain the coffee cup and the earpiece conundrum. The mirror would have made everything appear back to front. What the heck? It's way too early in the morning for this to be happening to me. Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
When it all happened, there were just 2 customers in my restaurant.
Who were they, though? And who were the 2 customers exactly?
Mais of course, the young man who died, and the other not-so-young man.
Huh. You're referring to yesterday's witness, I presume. What about the other man Maggie says she saw at the table? Something tells me Mr. Armstrong isn't planning to disclose his existence. We need some hard evidence first before we can bring him up, don't we? I guess I'll just have to try a different approach for the time being.
Remember, I was experimenting with some new art decos that day.
You were experimenting with Art Deco? How come I never heard about that before today?
You are not familiar with the language of interior design, monsieur.
Please, stay on topic. Now, why didn't you tell the court about this before?
What I did, just a few moments ago.
Excuse me, Mr. Armstrong. This deco you mentioned, are you referring to some sort of decorateur? No, Art Deco. It's a style of design, Your Honor. He's talking about interior design. Walls, ceilings, carpets, that kind of thing. Ah, yes, of course, that deco. I was trying to achieve a more
feminine look for my restaurant.
Ah, okay. Sounds good. Yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll raid them after this here. Trend Pixel, huh? Sounds good to me. Thanks for spending the channel points, Dark Souls.
I was planning the most bold remodeling of la decor. Like having a large mirror between la tables, for example.
Alright, man. How big of a mirror are we talking about here?
Oh, something about 4 meters wide and, about 2 meters high.
Let's see. 1 meter is about 1 yard. Holy glass in a frame, that's huge!
I was intending to install it on the ceiling eventually.
The ceiling? Was there a mirror on the ceiling? I don't remember. What a weird thing to do, to put a mirror on the ceiling at a restaurant.
I know. I decided not to go through with it in the end.
What should I do? Should I ask him more about the mirror or not? I guess I'll ask him more. If you really had such a large mirror in the restaurant, someone would have noticed it. But there's nothing about a mirror in Mr. Kudo or Maggie Bird's testimonies.
But
Objection!
You didn't ask, right? You only have yourself to blame for such sloppy work. What? A mirror was delivered to Très Bien the day before the incident. Really? As Mr. Armstrong testified, he was carrying out some design challenges. And as it turned out, he didn't actually use the mirror in the end. This just doesn't add up. Even if a mirror was delivered to Très Bien, it doesn't prove that it was in the restaurant on the day of the crime. If you want to doubt someone, look in the mirror. I'm sure the person looking back at you will be dubious enough. Huh. So the witness yesterday had seen the victim reflected in a mirror.
Perhaps that is what the old man was looking at.
Normally, I'd expect people to know the difference between a reflection and a real object.
Objection!
Normally? How does normality come into this? That's lame, Trite, even for you. Huh? Are you trying to say that if something isn't normal, it isn't possible? Is that it? Where does that leave the porky-headed lawyer and the top-knot chick over there? And the ungodly cool guy with the mask over here? Well, Trite? Ah! Not the hair! I do not have a top knot. Mr. Godot is correct. A lack of normality is no basis for discounting an argument.
Bien. Logic as one lade. La cup, la earpiece, et la glasses. He would have seen everything in reverse, no?
Everything? You would have seen everything in reverse?
Oui.
Hey, Nick. Take a second, think about what old CD said in his testimony. How did he phrase it again?
Boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. No question. You can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear without a doubt. Then he used the same hand to pick up the cup. His left hand.
If he saw everything he described reflecting in a mirror, then everything he said was that he saw on the left was actually on the right, huh? And that clears up all the problems with his testimony, I guess. Or does it? Huh. Kinda hard to believe everything's the fault of a mirror, but... You think old CD saw everything through a reflection? If he did, it would explain all the contradictions in his testimony. But that just makes the situation worse for Maggie. There's gotta be something in that old man's testimony. We've just gotta dig deeper. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna check on this here. Okay, so here he is wearing an HMD over his left eye. Same thing as Lisa Basil, right? So they're wearing it over their left eye. And Victor said that he had the earpiece in on the same side as the HMD. Is it possible? Oh, wait a minute. Is it possible that he wasn't listening to the radio? Is it possible that he had it in his ear, but he wasn't actually listening to the radio? Maybe he was recording a conversation between himself and the tiger. Ooh, getting some insurance for himself. That would be a smart thing to do. Okay, alright. So let's get to the end of this testimony. And let's present Glenn here, because it says HMD over left eye. Right? Alright. Coffee cup, the earpiece, and the HMD. Let's think back over Mr. Kudo's testimony for a second, shall we? Boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. No question, you can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear without a doubt. So, to summarize, we were told both the HMD and the earpiece were on the victim's left side. Now, if Mr. Kudo saw that as a reflection in a mirror, it means both the HMD and the earpiece were actually on the victim's right side. Exactement. You see, monsieur, now that you think about it, it is not so hard, no? Unfortunately, that's where we run into a monumental contradiction with the facts. If Mr. Kudo really did see everything in a mirror, why is it that the HMD is now on the wrong side of his head? Ooh. Order, order! Mr. Wright is correct. If the witness genuinely observed the victim reflected in a mirror, then we would expect the victim's eyepiece to have been over his right eye.
Objection!
Oh, bitter. Try. You should have a taste of this bitterness. It'll calm you down in no time. Are we talking about your coffee? Or something completely different? You don't understand the way the witness thinks. How he thinks? You remember this, I presume? The I broke the vase sorry apology Mr. Kudo's sworn testimony? Exactly. The old man has one very grievous habit, other than throwing seeds. The more of an impression something makes, the more muddled his mind makes it. And what's the most striking thing about Mr. Elg? Clearly, it's the victim's eyepiece. And that's my point. The old man strikes again. Mr. Elg's HMD made a big impression on the old man. I saw the earpiece and those newfangled spectacles he was wearing. Oh yes, they were both on his left ear. Do you hear? His left ear. Well, Trite? Ooh. That's the worst but best impression of Kudo ever. Wow, I really thought he was old seedy for a minute there. Kudo's good. Enough. I must agree that yesterday's witness was irresponsibly rash in much of his testimony. Bad luck, Nick. It looks like the boil of a contradiction you found is just a rash. A mirror can't be beaten by a handful of seeds, nor can it lie. So, what exactly was the old man looking at? Fill us in, Mr. Armstrong. Go on. Tell the court. We're all ears.
Oui, I can explain. Please, if you will look at la plans of la restaurant.
Okay, dude.
Alors, is everyone sitting comfortably? La mirror, it was in the middle of the restaurant, dividing the two halves.
Okay.
There's only one seat from which you could have seen an image of la victime.
Okay. So he had to have been sitting there to see the victim.
That was la seat at the table next to la victims. That was where la old man was sitting. After la terrible incident occurred, I moved la mirror so it was not in the way. But naturally, I did not touch anything else.
I see no problems with the explanation we've just heard. From the table next to the victims, Mr. Kudo could have seen the victim in the mirror. Alright, where do we have... Okay, so those are the floor plans we've already seen. Photo. Okay. So what they're saying is that Victor, the witness, was sitting in this chair further to the left than the camera can capture. So on this leftmost table, all the way to the back of the room. Okay, so his seat isn't being pictured here. Now, on the other hand, we also know... Where is his little haiku that he wrote? Here we go. So he wrote this little haiku. Well, the previous card he wrote for us was a haiku. This is not a haiku. When the incident occurred, I broke the vase at my seat. I'm sorry. So somehow he was supposed to be sitting at this table here, to the left, and the vase got broken. There's no way he could have been sitting here. He couldn't have been sitting here. The vase isn't broken. Right? Okay.
What a naughty little coquette I am, confusing all the men like this.
Don't worry about it. We can keep up. Except for the guy breaking out in a cold sweat over there again. Oh, I hate that guy. You said you didn't touch anything else apart from the mirror. Are you quite sure about that?
Volontiers, of course.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you please.
La mirror, it was in the middle of the restaurant, dividing the two halves. There is only one seat from which you could have seen an image of the victim. That was la seat at the table next to la victims. That was where la old man was sitting.
Alright, so he could not have been sitting there because the vase is standing. This piece of evidence contradicts with the testimony we've just heard, Your Honor. The crime photo? Yes, this photo clearly shows something that theoretically should not exist. What on earth do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? Should not exist? Sounds like you're describing yourself, Trite. Now then, if the defense would please clarify its statement. What is the something that should not exist in this photo? The vase, right? I think it's pretty obvious that this is what should not be in the picture. The vase? What
What possible connection does that have with this witness's testimony?
Your Honor, I'm telling you that there should have been no vase on this table. Because it very clearly contradicts with this piece of evidence. There is one thing that was clearly demonstrated by yesterday's testimony. Mr. Kudo broke the vase that was on the table where he was sitting. And yet, as the court can see, there is an unbroken vase on the table next to the victim. Why? Because Mr. Kudo was not, in fact, sitting at the table next to the victim at all. Don't be an idiot, Trite. That's impossible. That seat's the only one Kudo could have seen the victim's reflection from. Exactly. There's only one conclusion we can draw from this contradiction. There was no mirror in Tribune that day. Your testimony, Mr. Armstrong, is an elaborate lie. Mon Dieu! Don't try to confuse the court, Trite. Obviously, the witness cleaned up the vase, while the police were taking their time getting to the crime scene. Unfortunately, Mr. Godot, that doesn't quite work for me. Mr. Armstrong already testified to the contrary, in his own words. I did not touch anything else except the mirror. Ugh. Well, witness, what do you have to say for yourself? I was right. There was no mirror in the restaurant that day. In light of this revelation, we returned back to the original problem. Why did the victim have an earpiece in an ear which he couldn't hear? Ha! You only get one shot in life. There's no turning back. As I save my game. You want to claim that the mirror wasn't there, Trite? Then this problem is all yours. How do you explain what the old man saw? If I can answer this, then I'll be that much closer to the truth. I can feel it. Are you gonna be okay? Can you really solve this contradiction, Nick? There's more than just this one contradiction, Maya. What do you mean? Remember what Maggie told us? There was another man at the victim's table. And there was a sample CD on the victim's table. It all flies in the face of Mr. Kudo's testimony. And I think I know the reason why nothing in this case is adding up. Well, Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. The reason behind all the contradictions in Mr. Kudo's testimony is simple. Alright, so, Mr. Kudo made a mistake. The ear doctor made a mistake. The victim was a phony. Okay. Well, I don't think the ear doctor has anything to do with this. I don't think the ear doctor misdiagnosed the ear that Mr. Elg was having trouble with. Right? Could Mr. Kudo have made a mistake? Well, I mean, he'd knocked over the vase. He wrote a confession. How would he make a mistake with that? So the only thing left is that the victim was a phony. Could it be that the victim was a phony? Yes, it's possible. Because we already know that the whole situation just stinks rotten, right? And I have the feeling Violetta's involved here. There's way too many phonies. There's a phony of us. There's a phony of Maggie, I think. Victim's a phony. Everybody here's a phony. This case is riddled with contradictions. And yet, there's one very simple answer that clears all of them up. And what is that? The incident Mr. Kudo witnessed and the incident the victim experienced were two completely different events.
What?
Yes, the victim that Mr. Kudo saw wasn't Mr. Glenn Elg at all. It was an imposter, a phony, pretending to be Mr. Elg. Sus, I saw that dude vent. He's not doing any tasks. He's an imposter. Obviously, unlike the victim, there was nothing wrong with the imposter's left eardrum. That's how he ended up wearing the earpiece in his left ear by mistake. Huh. Okay. Another spit take. Order! Order in the court! Settle down or I'll clear the courtroom. Quiet, Cramps. Why do you clear out of here, huh? What did you say? Trite, are you saying that what Mr. Kudo saw was a setup? You saw El kill the tiger? Yeah, this is mad sus. I'm gonna vote to throw him out the airlock. Yes. Someone pretended to be Glenn Elg and acted out the whole coffee poisoning. All for the express purpose of creating a witness out of one Mr. Victor Kudo.
Objection!
Get real, Trite. Why would anyone want to do that? Isn't it obvious? The thing Mr. Kudo was most insistent about in his testimony was the serving girl brought him a Javachino, but she put something in it. That's the serving girl right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well. Oh. Time for a stretch and a posture check. You got it. You got it. Yeah. You know, if I ever get full body tracking, you'll be able to see all the moving. The other side. Stretch the back. Very nice. Okay, this side too. Ooh. Feeling good. Thank you so much. All right. Hydrate myself a little too while I'm at it. Okay. It's so hard to believe, but there was one and only one reason to show Mr. Kudo this fake poisoning. To show Maggie Bird in the act of poisoning the coffee.
Objection!
Are you insinuating that the waitress in the old man's story was a fake as well? It's true that there were no other customers in the restaurant at the time, but it's also true that the chef was there. He would have noticed what was happening. That's right. Well, witness? If your restaurant really was the scene of such theatrics, you would have known about it, correct? Oh la la! This is most difficult for me. No, it's quite simple. All you have to do is testify. You are under oath, after all. Was there, in fact, a phony at Tribulations that day? The defense demands that Mr. Armstrong... The defense demands that Mr. Armstrong tell the whole truth about what happened. That's right, no more lies. No more half-truths, the whole truth. The defense's request for additional testimony is accepted. You will accurately explain, in detail, the events in the restaurant that day. Oui. La victime, Monsieur Helg, he came to my restaurant alone. I remember la old man arrived not long after him.
There were no other customers. When he got word he had won the lottery, Monsieur Elk became very excited. It was approximately 5 minutes later that the poisoning incident occurred. No, there was no time for a phony to do the acting.
So, just so we're clear, there was no mirror in the restaurant after all.
Je vous demande pardon. Forgive me, Your Honor. I lied because I wanted this mess to be cleared up quickly.
What you have just done is commit perjury, Mr. Armstrong. I will decide how to punish you later. Yeah, perjury! Not cute! Not a cute look, Mr. Armstrong. Ms. Armstrong, oui. For now, we will still hear your cross-examination. Okay, Mr. Wright, if you please. Huh. He took that perjury charge a bit too well. But I'm guessing he'll be in more serious trouble after this cross-examination.
La victim, Monsieur Elg, he came to my restaurant alone. I remember the old man arrived not long after him.
Alright. Be a little more specific here. By old man, you mean Victor Kudo, correct?
Oui, he comes often for my special coffee.
I drank your coffee once, Mr. Armstrong. It's special, I'll give you that. It's worth a sip just for the experience.
Oh, you make me so happy, monsieur. You're most welcome anytime.
I said it was worth one sip, and nothing more. So, old Mr. Kudo arrived at the restaurant around the same time as the victim. Maybe I should ask about his arrival in more detail. Okay, our choices: don't ask anything. How many minutes after? What time was it? I guess how quickly, right? So how many minutes after? So you're saying that not much time elapsed between when the victim and Mr. Kudo arrived?
Oui, that is correct.
But that still leaves the possibility that something happened in that gap of time. And by your recollection, how much time would you say elapsed?
Let me see up. Approximately 2 minutes, I would say.
2 minutes? That's all? In the DS version of this trilogy, on the bottom screen it shows you and the prosecutor facing off before a cross-examination. Oh, so like our portraits across from one another, like fighting game style? Rats! I knew I shouldn't have pursued this line of questioning.
There were no other customers.
Well, oh, so that was the wrong answer.
Not long after him.
Okay, well, let's try the other option, right? By old man, you mean Victor Kudo, correct?
Oui, he comes often for my special coffee.
I drank your coffee once, Mr. Armstrong. It was terrible, it was awful, I spit it out. Alright.
Oh, you make me so happy, monsieur. You can spit out my coffee anytime.
I said it was worth one sip and nothing more. So, old Mr. Kudo arrived at the restaurant around the same time as the victim. Maybe I should ask about his arrival in more detail. Okay, this time, what time was it? Because apparently the prior answer was the wrong one. Out of curiosity, about what time was it when Mr. Kudo arrived?
Oh, no, I cannot remember, monsieur.
Huh. I believe we were told by a witness yesterday.
Crime was reported at 2:25 p.m. by a kinda scary old man, sir.
Does that perhaps jog your memory, witness? The incident happened about 20 minutes before he arrived. So the victim must have arrived between 2 p.m. and 2:10 p.m., no? Huh. Just after 2, huh? Thank you for your help in jogging my memory, monsieur. You are wonderful. I can't sit here all the time and do nothing, can I? The time of day will be added to the witness's testimony. Okay, we're getting somewhere now. Oui, Monsieur Judge. Everything I do it for you. Merci bien. That's French, isn't it? I'm glad at least one person's in a good mood. He's even humming a song to himself. I remember Loud Man arrived not long after him, or just after 2 p.m. What do you mean, just after 2 p.m.? The radio show for the lottery was at 1:30 and he was listening to it, right? Sent? Where's the flyer? Where's that flyer? Here it is, Millionaire Radio Flyer. Here's the most thrilling 10 minutes of your life every Monday at 1:30 p.m. So he must have been there already. I'm afraid I finally got you, Mr. Armstrong. What? What do you mean? At the time in question, the victim was listening to the radio with his earpiece. The show he was listening to was Millionaire Radio. Each week, they announced the winning numbers on the $500,000 lottery ticket. Oui, that must be la show Monsieur Elk was listening to. I can't see any problem with this testimony, Mr. Wright. I wonder. You say the victim arrived at your restaurant after 2 p.m., correct? Oh, oui, I am sure of it. I remember it perfectly now. I know it was that time because I had just finished serving la lunch menu. Get to the point, Trite, if you have one. That show was broadcast live at 1:30 p.m. And it claims to be the most thrilling 10 minutes of your life. It's on the air at 1:30. Now, supposedly, the victim had made some noise when it was announced that he had won. And yet, I don't believe his cry of joy could have occurred after 2 p.m. Because the show had already finished more than 30 minutes earlier by that point in time. No. This victim we've been told about has done nothing but the impossible. Listening to the radio with a ruptured eardrum, catching a show that was already over. There's only one conclusion you can draw from these facts. This victim was an imposter, acting out the poisoning 30 minutes after the real murder. Yes, there were 2 Glen Elgs in Tribulations that day. The real Glen Elg, now dead, having been poisoned by the real killer. And the phony Glen Elg, acting out the events for Mr. Kudo to witness. It certainly seems that way. I mean, if that wasn't the case, how could you explain the time discrepancy?
Objection!
Quite a performance, Trite. You were almost on a roll. But sadly, you lacked the rock-hard foundation of rhythm to build your song. What is this, Music Theory 101? Let's recap. According to your imaginative theory, it's now just after 2 p.m. The phony elk is performing a play for the benefit of Mr. Kudo. How do you explain, then, where the real Glen Elg is? I don't believe I have to spell this out for the court. However, at the time, the real Glen Elg was already dead. That's certainly the obvious conclusion.
Objection.
Thank you, Trite. That's exactly what I was hoping you'd say. What? Now, I presume you can prove this theory of yours. Can you explain where the missing corpse went to? The missing corpse? According to the old man's testimony, there was only one other customer there. If that customer was the phony Glen Elg, then where did the killer hide the body of the real victim? Ah! The prosecution has a valid point, Mr. Wright. If your theory is to stand up to examination by the court, you must provide us with proof by answering the prosecution's question. The missing corpse is in your house, you were the killer? I knew it! I knew it! And you would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for these meddling kids. Where did the killer hide the body? Yes, Your Honor. No conjecture, Trite. Let's hear some facts for once. Show the court a piece of evidence that proves where the body was hidden. Evidence? What's with the intense pressure in here all of a sudden? I thought I had him with that contradiction. But he's turned it all around and backed me into a corner instead. Well, Mr. Wright, the court will now hear the defense's theory and evidence. First, where was the body of the real Mr. Elg concealed? It must have been inside the restaurant, right? Inside Dark Soul's house. It would have been too dangerous to take the body outside. Obviously, the body must have been hidden somewhere inside Tribulations. Huh. Interesting. But where could a body have been hidden inside a restaurant? How about like a walk-in freezer? Perhaps you'd care to show the court on these plans, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. The exact location where the body was concealed inside Tribulations is over here somewhere, right?
Take that!
The body was hidden here. Huh. I see. Nice supposition. The real question is, can you back it up? Where's the evidence that proves the body was hidden in that location? Wait a minute, let's think about this. I think it's this, right? The victim's ear medicine, he had just picked this up before he went to Tribulations. Found covered in unidentified fingerprints in the kitchen. So, maybe he had this, and when the corpse was moved to the kitchen, that's how it made its way to the kitchen? Oh, maybe. Because we had assumed that Armstrong stole this, because he's a bit of a klepto, right? We had assumed he stole this thing, but maybe he didn't. Maybe the unidentified fingerprints belonged to Elg. Ooh.
Take that!
Mr. Armstrong, you recognize this bottle? Oh, no. I have never seen that ugly bottle before in my life. I only use la very best bottles, monsieur. The highest quality only for me. Where was that bottle found, Mr. Wright? Interestingly enough, Your Honor, it was found in the kitchen of Tribulations. Huh? Quoi? But I only ever use these bottles for my aromatherapy oils. But this bottle doesn't contain aromatherapy oil, Mr. Armstrong. No, it contains a medication. What kind of medication? I'm sure everyone remembers, don't they? That Mr. Elg visited an otolaryngological clinic. That Mr. Elg visited an ENT clinic, and he was given medication that day.
Can't be serious.
The defense had the contents of the bottle analyzed. You got a college ad? A specific college, or just like, college? Go there. It's better than most things you could get. Oh, one of these technical colleges. Yeah, those have been around forever, haven't they? I guess it's good if you want to learn how to, fix a motorcycle or something, right? The defense had the contents of the bottle analyzed, and I have the lab results right here. Okay. The contents of the bottle matched the prescription that was given to Mr. Elg. But Elg's murderer hid the body in the restaurant kitchen, at which time this bottle fell out of the victim's pocket. Mr. Armstrong, when the incident occurred, didn't you say you were in the kitchen?
Mon Dieu!
Yes, you know what I'm about to say. It was you who hit the victim's body. You did a fine job pretending to defend my client, Maggie Bird. However, you were setting her up to take the fall behind the poor girl's back.
No!
Order! Order! This is an extraordinary development. Witness, did you murder Mr. Glen Elg?
Never! I could not do such an horrible thing.
No. Whoa. Mr. Godot? The bitterness. Every time I get lied to, I always down a mug of coffee. Hey, Virtue! Thanks so much for the 5 bits! Who doesn't love those little cargos, huh? It's not just a breakdown, it's a earthquake down, you know? He shakes the room with his feels. That's one of my rules. Do you have the slightest idea how many cups you've had by now? Then I like to do the same to the person who lied to me. I like to take them down with my empty cup. Listen up, chef. How about a brand new flavor in your ear, my H-deficient friend?
Je vous demande pardon. Please, you must hear me out. It is a trap. Listen to me, por favor.
Yo hablo español, Mr. Armstrong, and por favor is Spanish. That's right, we're sort of mixing our languages now. I'm only gonna ask you once. Did you do it?
Oh, no, absolutely no.
Well, he must be a polyglot, right? Because he is listening. Well, we assume he understands the French. But we don't know that he understands the French. Let's hear it. You got one shot. Right, Gramps? Witness, the court will permit you the chance to make one final statement. If you lie under oath again, Mr. Godot's coffee mug awaits you. As does my gavel. Yes, that is the punishment for perjury in this court. You get physically assaulted by the prosecutor and the judge.
Oui, it is clear.
What do they always say in the movies? I've got a bad feeling about this. Very well. Begin your final testimony, Mr. Armstrong.
It is true, I hid the body in the kitchen. A man forced me to do it. I had no choice. I had to go along with him because there was a reason why I could not refuse. But I did not kill him, I swear it. You must believe me.
You were forced? By who?
I cannot say, or I would be erased.
Let's try a different question then. When Mr. Elk died, was he really the only person at his table?
There was... There was another man.
I knew it.
Maggie was telling the truth.
You may cross-examine the witness now, Mr. Wright. There's just one more thing I need to do. I gotta break this guy and get him to tell us the name of the real killer. Okay.
It is true, I hid the body in the kitchen.
Did you carry the body by yourself?
Oui, I carried him, and I carried Maggie too.
Maggie, too?
When she saw the victim collapse, she fainted. I could not leave her there.
Why did you hide the bodies?
A man forced me to do it. I had no choice.
What man? Who was he?
No, I cannot say. I fear for my life.
He's really scared. You'll just have to put the words in his mouth, Nick. Yeah, you're right. If he won't tell me, I'll tell him. But why would you go along with this man?
I had to go along with him because there was a reason why I could not refuse.
And what reason would that be, Mr. Armstrong?
You know, monsieur.
Yes?
Surely you cannot expect a young maiden to talk about such an embarrassment.
A maiden? You're a bit old to get away with that. And a bit too male. I can't finish the cross-examination without establishing his reason. So I'll just have to prove it, with evidence.
But I did not kill him. I swear it, you must believe me.
So you're claiming that all you did was hide the bodies. Is that correct?
Oui, that's right.
If we are to believe you, Mr. Armstrong, you must tell the court everything. You must make clear the identity of the man who ordered you to do this. He's already confessed this much. He might as well stop dancing around the real issue. That emote's hilarious. It's one of those SpongeBob fish, right?
Who is it? Who is it?
Yeah, but he really doesn't want to tell us who the killer is. Then suck it to him, Nick. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Alright.
A man forced me to do it. I had no choice.
Oh yeah? Was he a guy that looked like... Where is he? Like this? Let's end this dance of Ring Around the Rosie, Mr. Armstrong. This is the man that you've been referring to. Ah! Who is that? I feel like I've seen him somewhere before. Oh, I don't know. Maybe a month ago in this very courtroom? This man is Furio Tigre. He's the manager of a loan office called Tender Lender. There's no point in trying to hide the truth anymore, Mr. Armstrong. I know you couldn't go against Mr. Tigre. At least, not while he had this on you. Yeah, you owe him money. A $500,000 loan from a black market loan shark. And you had no way of paying it back, did you? That's why you were forced to do anything this man told you.
It is as you say.
Mr. Armstrong.
La Tigre. He told me he was going to use my restaurant for a business rendezvous. On la day in question, he was meeting la victim to demand that he repay his loan. I don't know why it happened like that. I just did what he told me to do. I had no choice. I carried la body, la inconscient Maggie out of la dining area and into the kitchen. After that, I just tried to forget what I had seen.
I think we can now safely say the man who forced your hand was Mr. Furio Tigre. I do have one further question for you, Mr. Armstrong. Okay, the poison in the lottery ticket that were found in the defendant's apron pocket. Was that your doing as well?
Oh, I knew nothing about that. Making it look like it was Maggie who had done it? I was not. It is despicable.
Mr. Godot, you will summon this Furio Tigre as a witness. I doubt that can be arranged today, so we will adjourn for now. Proceedings will continue tomorrow. $30. What? The trial will go on. I'll see to it myself. I need half an hour to get that guy on the stand. Not a minute more. How the? Don't sit back and relax yet, Wright. No one knows if that chef is really telling the truth or not. This trial could still go either way. Very well. Your request is granted, Mr. Godot. We will resume once Mr. Tigre is ready to take the stand. Until then, court is adjourned for a 30-minute recess. Oh, to be continued. I guess it's a chance for us to save. This has been some pretty intense stuff. Back in the defendant's lobby. So we're finally gonna see the tiger on the stand. We've almost got this case won now, Nick. I wish I could agree. Huh? When I cross-examined Mr. Armstrong just now, he said he was just doing what the tiger told him to do. But Godot picked up on it, remember? He pointed out that without proof, we don't know if what he testified is the truth. You mean, you think Mr. Armstrong was lying? I don't know, but if that's the line the prosecution takes, we could be in trouble. I get the feeling that we don't have the case-making evidence we're gonna need. Hey, pal. Detective Gumshoe. What are you so jumpy about, Detective? Your hair's standing on end.
Hey, that's the pot calling the kettle black, little Miss Top Knot.
It's not a top knot.
Never mind about the hair. Just calm down, all right? I can't stand still when I don't have a job to do. I kind of get wound up. Ah!
No kidding.
You gotta have something you need me to do, pal. Anything.
Well,
Hey, I'm gonna take a jog back down to the precinct. I could get some prints analyzed for you if you've got an hour.
an hour? The trial will reconvene by then. But Nick, we still don't have a really decisive piece of evidence, right? True. Without some kind of trump card to pull out of the bag, we're really stuck. You said you could get some fingerprint analysis done in an hour?
You bet.
In that case, would you mind checking the prints on this for me? Okay. It's gotta be the bottle, right? This one. Right? Unidentified? If you're going back to the station anyway, could you find out whose prints are on this?
Oh, hey! That's the small bottle I gave back to you this morning, right?
Yeah, I think it's time we solved the last mystery of who the prints on it belong to.
Sure thing, pal. Actually, that's been gnawing at me too. Okay, I'll get this off to the lab right away. Just make sure you don't lose the case before I get back.
I'll do my best. This is pretty much the final showdown, I guess. It's time to separate the phonies from the real guys. Court will now reconvene. Mr. Godot, did you find this Furio Tigre? I even tamed him for you. It was a 3-cup job. No problem. Tamed him? The guy's name may be Furio Tigre, but come on! He's pretty lively. Be careful, he still bites. Very well. Please show Mr. Tigre to the stand. Oh, witness. Did you state your name? Ah! Don't hide under the table, Maya. Unless there's room down there for me, too. Would you mind?
What'd you say to me?
Nothing. I didn't say nothing. Honest. Who could have guessed that the fear would induce a bad Brooklyn accent in the judge? He must have caught it from me.
I got business to take care of, you hear me? So who the hell called me into this hole? Was it you, Spiky?
Ah, no, of course not. It was the judge? Your Honor? Oh, dear, I seem to have dropped my pen. Where on earth is it? Don't mind me, just carry on with the proceedings as normal. That's it, we're doomed.
Maybe you didn't hear me. I said, who the hell was it that called me in here?
There's no need to shout, we can all hear you.
What'd you say?
There's no point struggling. You're caught in a snare. The relentless snare of the law. And I'm the one that hauled you in. Too cool. Don't let him get the better of you, Nick. Let's start with the basics. You know about the incident in question, correct?
Incident? I don't know nothing about no stinking incident, mask boy.
You mean you didn't attend the previous trial of Maggie Bird?
Maggie who? I got more important things to do than watch courtroom dramas.
Of course. Well, perhaps you could give us your testimony then. Please tell us about what you did on the day of the murder.
Phoenix Wright. You's the one who set this up, didn't ya? You's gonna regret the day you ruffled the tiger's fur. You hear what I'm saying?
Oh? Maybe I should have brought a diaper with me today. Oh man, Phoenix! You gotta hold yourself, man. It's Gucci, baby. We're gonna get this guy locked up. Get a grip, Nick.
I don't know nothing about no murder. I was tied up with business in December last year. Spent all of my time in my office. I got whales lined up to borrow cash from Tender Lender every single day. Just want to check my alibi? Just ask Violetta.
Ah, at last I found my pen. Very well then, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, please. Ah! What is it? Please, witness, if you could refrain from shouting out like that.
I know the kind of games that guy in the blue plays. That lowlife ain't no lawyer. He just punches away at stupid details till he wins.
Lowlife? Me?
Listen up, Smarty. Every time you ask me something that doesn't relate to this case, I'm gonna bill you $50,000, and you's gonna buy the cash from me.
That's one loan contract I refuse to sign.
And don't think it ain't gonna hurt when you tangle with the tiger.
We got a Verizon ad this time. There is a little, variety there. Huh, I love a good spectator sport. You don't even have Verizon in your country? Hey, you know what? That's good news, because that means they don't know enough about you to give you targeted ads. So you can ignore that. Just a minute. That's really not... This witness is... How can I put it? A hungry tiger roaming the urban jungle. Get on his bad side and he'll bite everyone's heads off. Yours too. Very well. I have no choice but to impose a penalty system here. Boo. Boo to the penalty system. We're saving the game. Boo. Okay.
You's better be listening. I said I got business to take care of. Big business. If I don't split now, I ain't gonna catch my bus.
The court will impose a penalty for any irrelevant pressing of witness testimony. Keep that in mind as you begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor.
You can do it, Nick.
Come out from under there already, would you, Maya? Okay, let's see here.
I don't know nothing about no murder. I was tied up with business in December last year, spent all of my time in the office.
Well, that can't be true. That can't be true, because you had a date. According to this calendar. You had a date, right? So, let's go ahead and zone in on this, right? Are you sure about that? We're talking about 1 month ago, you know?
You see these teeth? That's how sharp my secretary is.
Sharp? Is he talking about Viola Cadaverini?
She writes everything in my scheduler. December, mainly in the office. That's what it says, so that's where I was.
That seems like a rather sketchy schedule.
Arr.
There he goes again. Huh. What the tiger did all December isn't the issue. What's important is what he was doing on the day of the murder. So now what? Gotta press harder. Mr. Tigra,
What do yous want?
hey, if you wouldn't mind going into a bit more detail.
Objection.
This is a dead end, Trite, and you know it. Remember the rules. No, it's essential that we establish the witness's alibi accurately. I agree. The victim was killed on December 3rd. Were you in the office that day too?
Maybe yous ain't listening. Of course I was. I never set foot outside. I had meetings all day with a bunch of cats wanting to do business with me. I ain't never seen that young kid before.
I do believe the witness's last statement was important. Mr. Godot, if you could please... Mr. Tigra, the court asked you to add that last statement to your testimony. Huh. Don't let an animal beat you. Be a man, Your Honor, and ask him yourself.
The days you's talking about, I was in the office too. I never seen that kid before.
You're full of it. Where is that calendar? You had a meeting with him. What about this? What about this? Mr. Tigra, you claim you didn't know Mr. Glen Elg. But it appears that Mr. Elg knew you.
What?
Mr. Elg left this little note on his calendar. Meet with the tiger. And the date? December 3rd.
December 3rd?
That's the day of the murder. So, Mr. Tigra, I submit that you did indeed know one Mr. Glen Elg. Because on the very day of the incident, you met with him.
Not bad, you's actually not bad.
Sorry?
I was just messing with you, to see how good you were.
Did you hear that, Nick? He said you're not bad. That's one compliment I can do without. Plus, he's lying through his teeth. Witness, please remember that you're under oath. Lies will not be tolerated.
You's calling me a liar? Is that what you doing?
Ruh-roh. So you're saying that your claim to have never seen that kid before is the truth?
I said I'm dead serious. You's better believe that's the truth.
Huh. Then I'd say that gives me time to enjoy another cup of pure black magic. That is, while you testify for the court again, Mr. Tigra. Oh my goodness, so we're gonna have to go into round 2. Let's go ahead and save our game. And I see that it is now just slightly past when I usually end up my stream, so let's go ahead and wrap things up. I wanted to say thank you so much to everybody who showed up to support my stream today. I really appreciate you. I hope that you had a good time, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your evening. I will be back again on Wednesday from 6 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we will pick up right here where we have left off. So in the meantime, take care, and I will see you on Wednesday. Bye now.